I thought that I would be a very chill parent when my kid came out. It's kind of like you want to be chill, but you cannot be chill.
In the very well-renowned school, the competition is really intense. The parents are politicians, they are celebrities. And then my son actually told me, "Mommy, the very smart kids don't play with us, you know."
Many millennials grew up being pressured to make it to the top schools. Now, as parents, they might tell themselves they want to do things differently for their children. But in an education system that's still fiercely competitive, can young parents really afford to take it easy? Rice speaks to parents navigating this dilemma to uncover what a good school means in Singapore today.
My girl's 7, she just started primary 1, and I did make the conscious choice for her to go to a school where she doesn't have to travel like an hour or two just because it's a brand name or an elite school. My parents, friends were like, "Oh my god, why didn't you send her to this school or that school?"
Does the reputation of a school matter to you or no?
Whether good school or not, never mind. I just want something which is nearby and practical for me. Just in case anything happens. Currently, I'm working from home, so I can fetch my daughter easily.
When we shifted house, my son went from a neighborhood school over to a better brand school. Initially, to me, the ranking did not matter because I felt that all schools are good schools, but I realized that there are much wider opportunities that this school can offer than his previous school. They have cultural exchanges. They also have collaborations with our local research institute, etc., which I know that the previous school did not have.
So my son wasn't really doing that well. Although he's very hardworking, he didn't get into DSA route either. So one fine day, we were walking around Singapore looking for that school for him, and we just chanced upon this neighborhood school. The moment we went inside, we were greeted by a teacher who was so full of pride about the work that they did. When you go to a neighborhood school, you are actually coming from the same place. You will actually have an equal footing in that sense. My son was given so much opportunity. They sent him to all kinds of competitions. They put him in leadership position, and that's where he bloomed. In fact,
I have one son. He is 3 this year. For primary school, I've been thinking about either sending him to a school that's closer to my place or has religious affiliation, just so that it perhaps has a bit more of a values-based education approach. I think because we are dual income working parents, so we also want to think about what happens when we're not there, right? Are the kids well behaved? Are there complaints about bullying and how is it dealt with? What's the discipline like in the school?
How is school today?
Good, and I like today because I just meet friends only. I like my friends and I love it.
Every school has its own advantage. As per the orientation that I went, they said they instill play into the school or maybe into their classes. Grades are important, but then in the future you can also take private classes ma.
For my own education, my parents did not feel like they needed to send me to a good school. My mom left it up to me. So on hindsight now, I wish that she had put a bit more thought into it. I feel like if I were in a school that had more opportunities and not just, very STEM focused, I feel like my outlook and my career decisions might be different.
So I probably am from one of those elite schools that y'all are talking about. I do have that little bit of a, are we doing our kid a disservice by not sending her to those schools? But then I have to remind myself, why are we making these choices? The payoff would be having a lot more time with her at home. Then maybe we can afford those opportunities for her.
Initially, I thought that I would be a very chill parent when my kid came out. I think what happened was the other parents started talking about, they're sending their kids to enrichment classes and they have not even been in primary school, and I go like, okay, so with that, I need to buck up a bit on his activity schedule. I don't want to be too chill that he cannot catch up, but you also get that kind of pressure, like, am I doing what's best for the kid?
Honestly, I'm not sure if this is a good system. I'm not sure if there is a better system. A lot of it, again, comes down to the parents' attitude to say and tell the child, look, if you are not academically gifted, then look at where your strengths are and then use that to continue conversations about higher education rather than saying you're good or bad at studying.
the thing is that you can change from normal express gifted to G1, G2, G3. It doesn't change anything because the end result is still the same. It's just a label difference. The top students go to the top schools, but we are not discovering hidden talents in that aspect. The reason is because these kids are coming from wealthy family backgrounds. They probably have expensive enrichment classes that crack the code of scoring high. Instead of upgrading individual schools, can we have like big lecture theatre, the best state of art facilities for every student to enjoy.
I feel that the Singapore's way of handling education is they try to be holistic with the new way of approaching this, but I think it adds a lot of pressure to us parents because previously in, let's say, my time when we had PSLE, all we had to do was just to be academically focused. Right now, the government is, okay, we all need to be all-rounder. Great, all-rounder. What does all-rounder mean? Means that, okay, besides academic, you need to have a sports role, you need to have a leadership role. I think it's really trying to relook at this whole band system that at the end of the day, if you are slightly more detailed with the way how you score to go forward, it does help.
I know this is going to be a big shift, but I think if we can take away PSLE and explore smaller bite-sized assessments instead of this one big exam at the end of 6 years that holds everything, that would be a big step forward.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So cute.